Upload your music.
Upload your music. Upload your music
to bbc.co.uk/introducing.
and you could get played on the BBC.
This is BBC Introducing.
BBC introducing the future of music.
And a very good evening. Welcome along to the programme then. Action-packed as you come to expect on the way tonight.
Let me take you on a trip and insight into my life. I've been battling for years like a soldier in stripes. It goes
Discovering the powerful story of Dribs, a Telford-based artist who balances heartfelt songwriting with being a special needs teacher and foster carer.
I like to think with my tracks they're almost like an audio book of my life. One day I won't be here on this earth, and I like to think that my kids can press play on my music and it'll take them through an audio book of my life.
BBC Music
Introducing.
Everybody's got to start somewhere.
Life is a succession of lessons which must be lived to be understood.
And tonight we're discovering the powerful story of Dribs, a Telford-based artist who blends genres to create music that truly speaks to the heart. Well, his new album offers solace to those suffering in silence, and his NHS tribute track stands as a heartfelt thank you to those who went above and beyond during the pandemic. Balancing his roles as a special needs teacher and foster carer, Dribs pours his heart and soul into his music, influenced by his late friend Les Hammond, who passed away suddenly. He's been speaking to our Claire Ashford.
I'm a special needs teacher and assistant, as well as a foster carer for the local authority. I've been fostering for just over 10-11 years. I've been doing music for close to 20 years now. My hip-hop I started in lockdown. When I tell people I'm a rapper, they get a little confused on what I might write about. I write about things like mental health, disabilities, things to do with the NHS and applauding them through lockdown. And I like to think that my tracks resonate with listeners. I like to make the hair stand up because they can feel every single lyric. So that's mainly what I do with my music, and that's what I like to think sets me aside from other rappers in Telford. Yeah, I was brought up in a musical household. I was always writing music since a young age. Come lockdown, I was suffering with mental health, and I turned a negative into a positive and just started writing more and more. And that's when I started putting my tracks out and approaching people like BBC Music Introducing, and they got to play my music, and very grateful for that.
to the door with a weapon behind his back. Now what kind of trouble do you think that you're in? If every time the door knocks your head's in a spin.
I've done a few live performances. My most recent album is being sold at HMV at Telford Town Centre now. So alongside that, they invited me in store. So I think I spent maybe an hour and a half, 18 tracks back to back of the album, the full 18 tracks. And I surprised myself that I remembered every single lyric. Because ask me what I did yesterday, it'd be a different story. But my music, I write it straight from my heart, and every word resonates with me. I like to think with my tracks, they're almost like an audio book of my life. One day I won't be here on this earth, and I like to think that my kids can press play on my music and it'll take them through an audio book of my life.
Now, what's the fostering all about? You and your wife foster?
Yeah, me and my wife have been together for almost 20 years now. We always said that we'd have the children we had and then we'd look at fostering, and that's exactly what we did. My youngest is 11, my eldest is 15, I've got 2 girls, and then we foster for the local authority as well, and we've fostered many children.
How long are they normally with you for?
It can vary. It can be short term, long term. The longest I've had was just over 3 years, and that was very hard to let go. And I will promise you that each child that we let go, whether they've been with us for a few weeks or a few years, it's just as hard to let go. We've always got a tear in our eye when that child goes out the door.
How is it when they first come to you? Because you don't know them, they don't know you. Bless them, they're only littlies.
They normally come to you with a lack of trust.
Yep.
They've been through X amount of different foster homes already, so why would yours be any different? That's a massive thing to gain their trust. We're not just someone else that they can't trust, just another house that they're going to go on from one to the other. And yeah, we start by really taking it gently, but we do have rules in our house. I think rules is a massive thing with children. Boundaries, yeah, it doesn't have to be too strict, but it certainly has to be boundaries. And I treat these children just like I would with my own children.
How do you deal with the affectionate side? If I got them, I just want to cuddle them straight away, when that's obviously you can't just do that, can you?
No, you can't jump in with the affection, but the affection is certainly something you do have to give them, because the first couple of years of their life, even when they're a baby, it's the most important.
We're turning to this music to hide from the pain, like we have nothing to gain. With the love for the beats that we have to maintain.
I know they're always looking for foster families. What would you say to someone who was thinking of doing it?
As opposed to contacting agencies and the local authority themselves, I would contact foster carers because they will give you the most truthful insight into fostering, because fostering is an emotional roller coaster. Yes, it has amazing times, but it also has some low points as well when certain children go and maybe you're not happy with the route they're taking, but it is certainly something that I would sing from the rooftops in doing. It's beneficial, you're doing a good thing in society, you're helping other children, and I think that's majorly important. I had quite a rocky childhood with regards to my dad and some of the things he put me through. My mum was an absolute saint and she made me the man I am today. I think that's where I relate to the fostering. Yeah.
Look at you, how far you've come.
Yeah, I can only...
Nearly married 20 years as well, absolutely, and kids and fostering. Well done.
And I can only give thanks to my mum for that, because she was my mum and my dad growing up. She did all the duties, whether it be fixing a puncture, teaching me how to shave growing up, lots of things that a mum and a dad could take it in turns with. She was there for me and my brother and taught us to speak from the heart, and I think that's really helped in my music as well, because I'm able to speak my mind. I do a lot for men's mental health as well. I do drop-in services through social media. There's a magazine called The Scene magazine, which is available across the Midlands, Telford, Shrewsbury, Wolverhampton. It's a free magazine. You tend to see it at supermarkets and at hairdressers and whatnot, and I run a men's mental health article in there where I invite other men to speak about their experiences in order to help other people. And again, Mom teaching me these things about not being ashamed to speak your feelings has really helped me to do what I do now.
Life is a succession of lessons which must be lived to be understood. Life can be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards. Never limit your view of life by any past experiences. This is my story. Let me take you on a trip and insight into my life. I've been battling for years like a soldier in stripes. It goes back to being 3, that was living a lie. Mom's picking up the pieces, my lord, she tries to be there for her son while she's hurting herself. Her pain and upset she placed on a shelf. On Christmas Day he left, we were finally free, but little did we know came more pain and misery. He's still walking at home like he owned the place, in and out of my life like I was just a phase. Most weekends I remember I'd be stood at the door where he promised me park trips and so much more, but instead it was a walk around the local cemetery, then head back to his flat for cheap noodles for tea, where he filled my head with rubbish. There were so many lies, I believed every one of them. I was only a child. If the door would knock, then I would stop eating tea and walk to the table to pick up his bags. He'd answer the door with a weapon behind his back. Now what kind of trouble do you think that you're in, if every time the door knocks your head's in a spin? And what type of risk are you bringing to your child when your lights are catching up? This is more than wow. I looked up to this man, I had no reason to doubt. He never raised his hand to me and he didn't really shout. The abuse came in many different ways. Felt disgusted by the way he would always behave. All the hatred to my mom, I just could not forgive. Never be in his presence for as long as I live. And if people speak his name, I'm embarrassed at that. Can you imagine one man giving all that? And I could tell you so much more, but there just isn't the time. This one's out to all the kids who have a story like mine. Use it to motivate, be proud of who you are. And if you ever look back, know you've come so far. Just keep your head up, be the best that you can be. Forever here's lost another branch from the tree. Remember who's there to love and protect you. Put that life on the line and never neglect you. At times you've got to keep your head up, never let that chin drop, cause one day you'll look back at these times and you'll realise that made you who you are. Never fall apart. stronger than you think and much braver than you believe. A special friend of mine once told me, you can't look back. You just have to put the past behind you and find something better for the future. Your past should never equal your future. Life moves on.
Get played on BBC Radio. Play at major events. Feature on BBC Sounds.
Introducing.
Upload your tracks now.
bbc.co.uk/introhw.